Hello everybody, welcome to the European Games 2019 here in wonderful Bamberg. We're having this great Airbnb here right next to Bamberg for ourselves, Gio and me, and we're going to talk about the few teams that are going to fight for the championship in this year's tournament, and we're going to give you a quick introduction to each of them. It's going to be me and Gio talking to you about the favorites of the tournament. Gio, do you want to start?
Yeah, so obviously being from the UK, I've got to call the UK favourites. Last year's winners, or 2 years ago's winners, defending champions. A lot of the team has changed, but they've still got some really strong players. Players like Callum Lake, who, if you remember, caught the snitch against France during swim. But they do have a lot of new players. Players like Geneva Chambers, Tommy Ruler, Mike Yorridge, who I think is probably the youngest player at the tournament. I think he's 16.
Oh my god, that's really young.
Yeah, I think he was going to play on the UK squad for World Cup, but he was too young, unfortunately. Other players, the two keepers they've got, Matt Croft and Alex McCartney, are both brand new players to international tournaments. But I think the UK are trying to build a development team for World Cup as the goal. But some notable names missing: Lucy Quidditch.
Oh yeah, we're missing Lucy Quidditch on the pitch. Get well back soon. Get back on the Quidditch pitch. And with this young team, do you think there's a lot of improvement going on in the tournament for UK?
I think having new blood is always good. It helps the kind of the older guard have to fight for their position. There's no easy rides anymore. There's a lot of people coming through the UK scene, and that competition I think should hopefully spur them on to do well. I'm not too sure if they'll win. Even the more experienced players in an international scene, players like Tom Norton and Ed Brett, who are both rostered for World Cup, saw minimal pitch time, and that may affect their mentality going forward. All it takes is one or two mistakes to kind of really swing you the negative way. But I think they should do well. I think maybe my prediction is fourth.
Fourth, that would be an understatement for the UK from the Brit to my left. And talking about other teams that could fight for the trophy, we have to talk about Norway. Last time they hosted the European Games, came in a glorious third place. Last year's World Cup, they only finished 11th. We're kind of shell-shocked a bit in this tournament. And this year they want to put on their aggressive play again and hopefully go for the title. Their coach is Jacob Lenz, the coach of the OSI Vikings, also coaching the team. His assistant coaches Stein Elgetun and Martin Bayer. And what Norway always excelled at was like aggressive and very focused speeding game, but that's going to be hard because Amund Sturse is not coming to this year's tournament as a player. It's going to be a lot of focus on the other players, on the other beaters like Mette Sundal or like Merlin Zimmermann, which played an impeccable EQC. I hope they're up for the task, but Amund Sturze's play is going to be missing in the beating game. So my guess is that Norway needs to think about other options that they didn't play it in the last few years, like more passing and maybe like for the quick one-pass offense.
Maybe even aggressing into one-bludge situations as opposed to waiting for your beaters to make no bludgers, taking a bit more of a risk in the chaser game, trying to open up the play, help the beaters out if the beaters aren't as experienced.
Exactly. It seems to me that their playbook has widened a bit than in the previous years because they need more focus on the passing. I was talking to the head coach. He was talking to me that they're trying to do like the pass and dodge game, like as we've seen in the UKC. Paris performed that brilliantly, but also like they want to apply that to more than just one single player or like 2 or 3 players and get a more engaging offense in that way. Also, Norway, I wouldn't put them as the favorites in this tournament. I personally would say they'll probably like place 5th or 6th in this tournament. But best of luck to you, Norway. We hope you can do it and give us a hell of a time on the pitch. Okay, this was the introduction of the Team UK and Team Norway. We're coming up with Team Turkey, Team Belgium, Team France, and Team Germany. Stay tuned, and we'll give you the facts and deeds of these teams. Thanks.
And we're back. That was a good game, wasn't it? So we're back with more analysis. This time we are going to be delving into the teams, the Turkish team and the Belgium team. Let's take it away then.
Yeah, well, the Turkish team was my job. Thank you, Gio. Turkey came in third at last year's World Cup, and they really weren't thinking about getting third, but they'll take it. 2 years ago, they placed 6th in the European Games in Oslo, and this year, Kaan Bulat is their coach again. He made a 1-year break. And yeah, he's trying to get this team on board of getting right for that trophy. The Turkish people are known for their aggressive beating game. They always like to prefer having both beaters as far in the offensive involved as possible. But this year it's kind of hard for them because a lot of players couldn't really jump from Turkey to Bamberg because of financial troubles like the team fees, the gym fees, and of course the flight is always an issue. And then there are some visa issues. So people say, and some Turkish people agree with me there, that this year it's only like a B team, and some people even say it's only a C team. We'll see how Turkey can manage to hold up in this game. There are still some impeccable players, as you've probably seen from the EQC. There's Ashton Aspai, the incredible chaser and keeper of the Hippogriffs, who played formidable in this tournament. He's going to be a lot of action in the offensive game and also an emotional leader of the team. But he's joined by an impressive beating lineup, impressive female beating lineup of Edgem and Nisu Yaligaya, number 33 of the Hippogriffs. She played a great tournament and now she's like on this international stage and can show it again. And of course, we can also mention some pretty good chasers. There's Kinahan Özdemir and Benan Emre. Turkey is full of good players, and even if there's some missing, Turkey is always up for it and putting up a fight. I personally would think they'll probably be around 3rd place or maybe 4th place or maybe even better. It depends on how good they can get in a rhythm, Gio, and advance in this tournament early on.
I think a lot of it is the matchups in terms of if they play one of the other top teams early on, that lack of experience on the international stage might just be their downfall.
Yeah, exactly, and they didn't have a lot of time training together. They only had like one practice weekend 1 week before. And this is going to take a toll in the tournament where some teams had a lot of time establishing their group dynamic. For example, Belgium, Gio.
Yes, Belgium. Well, Belgium have played together on the international stage for quite some time, as well as domestically. A lot of them do play for the Antwerp Dodos. Players like Louis Limitz, who I think every time we have some sort of analysis, names always mentioned. Co-president of the Belgium national governing body, as well as the coach for the national team this year. Louis beater this obviously beating. I was going to say he's chasing. No, he's beating.
Well, he did that a few years back, but now he's back to the beating game.
Just beating. Louis, a very aggressive beater style. What it will typically do will try and pin you on your hoops if possible, which effectively will create a no bludger situation just by the fact that you can't use your bludger. Louis also loves quick turnaround, quick counters. So if you score in Belgium, you've got to be expecting Louis to be charging up that pitch, trying to take every bludger out of the way. So that players like Sepe de Witt, who is the chaser for Belgium, as well as the Antwerp Dodos, playing together. They know each other very well. Always wants to get the ball and drive straight through. Good shooter, good driver, but a phenomenal passer. I think that's part of his game that a lot of people miss out on. Other incredible notable players they have, Suzanne Fischer, chaser, phenomenal tackler. Quite large, I think she's 6'2", something like that. I'm just going to say she's 6'2", I'm going to make it up now. Phenomenal set of hands, really good distributor as well. I wonder if they'll utilise her as a distributor. Typically, a lot of female players aren't ball handlers, but her receiving around the hoops is insane as well. Tall, strong, fast, great set of hands, phenomenal player. I think definitely a lot of teams could sleep on her in terms of that kind of phrase means that they'll forget about her. A lot of players may be wondering, oh, there's a female chaser, she's unmarked, she's not going to score. If Suzanne gets that ball near the hoops, she would definitely score. Other important, impressive players, Neton, the keeper. I'm not too sure if probably plays for, I think they play for Dodos.
Play for Andre.
It's almost as if the entire Belgian team played together and therefore should know each other really well. I think that Belgium should do really well. They were the runners-up at World Cup. They put on a really good show against the US last year in Florence, and I think they could probably win it. I'd say they are my team to beat.
All right, yeah, Belgium has all the tools to succeed in this tournament, and they'll have a tough road ahead of them, but they'll the one of the teams that can actually make it. So now you guys have some other games in front of you, and we'll be right back with the two final teams we're going to introduce to you, Germany and France, and we'll talk about some maybe runner-ups or some secret teams who might get into this final positions on this tournament. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Wow, whoo, what another great game you guys
very
just
close,
saw.
very close game.
Unbelievably, I can't believe that we have that on stream. Thankfully for Rule Phoenix TV, we have it on stream. And now for the last part of this panel, we're going to introduce two more teams to you that we think are in the favorite group to win this tournament. It's going to be about Germany and Team France. And Team France, Gio, that was your rally.
It was, yeah, Team France. So they have some good players. They're okay. They've got, who's that? That's Mikel, phenomenal player. Keeper for the Paris Titans. Very good shot stopper, very phenomenal shooter, but solid driver. Can go beast mode.
Marshawn Lynch.
Straight through the team. But also what I find with when Mikel has the ball, always looks to try and pass and open up that play. Because of the way he can shoot, teams will be trying to shut down those shooting lanes. But then that means they leave the chasers who are wide open. Nice, easy goals. We saw that at EQC with Albert.
Yeah.
Albert ran through, did his weird swing pass, which I shovel sideways to a wide open chaser, just dunked it in, because they're always expecting the drive or the shots. So you've always got to be respectful of the players who are wide receiving. Players like Sammy.
Yeah, I love Sammy.
Phenomenal player. Like, if you don't know who Sammy is, then I don't really know what to say.
Watch the stream and find out.
Yeah, watch Sammy play. Phenomenal player. And then they've also got, that's just the chasing game, with Etienne in the beating game, and you've got Boris in the seeking game. They probably, I would say, like, if the final is Belgium versus France, I'd be very happy, because I think that'd be a phenomenal final. And I think I would still urge it to Belgium, but I think France could be a very good second.
I think, yeah, these two nations and also on their club level have a good rivalry going on, and it seems that this year can be a continuous time of that one. But one team to maybe want to say a word in that one is Germany, because Team Germany on this point, last year in the World Cup, they had the best first day of any teams, but then came in 7th. This team, they want to turn it around. The head coach, Steffen Wirsching, and his assistant coach, Nadine Ziranek, have put together a great team. They had a great recruitment throughout all of Germany. They viewed over 200 players, I think. And that was a lot of effort. And now they think they are the best of the players Germany has to offer, and we'll see how they stack up. Germany, it's hard to pin down what Germany does, because it's not like France or like Belgium, where you know kind of what the best team does. The national team is probably going to do as well. It seems to me that Germany can rely on their on several options. They can go for a good trolling game. They have like Marvin or like a Julia, but we also have like the great passing game and like a cerebral play of Bonn players, and the impeccable beating of Leon Burgos. Jana Chung, a player who, for Bonn, made an impeccable leap on her play this year, and I can't wait for you guys to see this on screen. Yeah, the Germans are up for the task, and they want to talk about getting one of these 1, 2, 3 spots, and I think that's probably where they land. I have them on the fourth place. And we'll see.
I think that's a fair one. I think what's quite good with the German Quidditch is the national players are spread out throughout all the teams.
Exactly.
So you don't have this one dominant team in the domestic league. And it's nice to see that they have their own styles domestically. And you can see it with the Berlin Blue Caps and the Bonn Rhinos. They have more of a passing game, or they try and they do that nice switch play.
Yeah.
Sometimes they hand it off, sometimes they don't, which is quite good. Ratatouille is the call they always have.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they can take that, what they learn there, and take it to a national team and adapt it.
And we'll see if that actually happened, or if we can do it to succession. Also, we can maybe like give some shout-outs to some teams who are like on the brink of getting into that top tier. And in my eyes, that's Austria and in Italy. If there's any team I would have like a dark horse bet on, it would be Austria and getting into these top 6 teams.
Yeah, Austria, again, domestically had decent EQC, D2 with the Vienna Vanguards.
Yep.
And at World Cup last year, the Italians did scare the UK team. They took it to swim. But I think that was the big factor there was home field advantage. You heard all the fans in the stadium, and when you hear someone cheering you on and you're on that pitch and it's crunch time, that really does make you dig deep and give it all your efforts.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of wondering how Austria is going to play against the top teams of Europe. It's hard to put it down, because they played in UQC Division 2, which is not really the level of the national teams. It's more like UQC Division 1, of course. And we see how they stack up. They have the tools to get into the top 6. But for me, they're kind of one step ahead, and one tiny step behind that is also Italy with their great chasing games. But I think they are maybe up for some leap in the standings. We'll see about that.
I think if they prepare for their opposition, say they play Belgium, for example. If they understand what Belgium do, can shut that down, maybe they might get an upset. Especially if it's a swim game, all you need to do is catch a snitch.
Okay, that's enough from me and Gio. You guys probably don't want to hear us talking about any more games. You want to watch them, and that's exactly what you're going to have in store for you. Stay on the live stream, stay tuned, watch the games, and get in these comments. Do you agree that Gio and me just said? Who do you think is going to win the whole thing? And yeah, are you up for it? And please enjoy the rest of the games. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.